Good morning. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Hondo Temez. I'm a 5-year Navy veteran and a graduate student at Ball State University. This is my third time here at this competition, and it doesn't get any easier, so if you have plans, just keep at it. Okay, I'd like to start off with our mission statement and goals. We like to offer support to student veterans and show them that others support them. That is a key one. Veterans that are coming back to the campus need the support from each other, need the support from family and friends. We like to ensure academic and professional success for the veterans. We like to grow with them as well as them grow in themselves professionally and academically. We like to provide knowledge and information to help bridge the gap between veterans and the campus. We like to provide the one-stop shop for all their needs, whether it be counseling, tutoring, anything that we can provide, we want to be there for them. We want to instill a sense of camaraderie and community into our organization and the campus. When we all came back to campus, that's what we needed. We needed somebody to be there. Hey, this is what's going to be expected. We needed that friendship that we were used to from being in the military. And we like to celebrate and promote veteran successes on campus. We like to hear the good stories of, oh, I graduated with honors. I've just done this. I've gotten accepted to this graduate school. I've been given this position at a career. We want to be there for them to support them in their movement forward. Our campus culture is pretty diverse. We have around 400 veterans on campus, and that's not including the dependents that are using Chapter 33 benefits, the GI Bill, the 9/11 GI Bill. And we have over 20,000 students on campus. So we make a good chunk, a good number of students on our campus. We like to provide a network of resources, opportunities, and perhaps most importantly, a family for our student veterans, as I've mentioned. We want that close group togetherness. We want them to feel welcome and enjoy being there together. We like to have a coalition of staff, or we have a coalition of staff, students, and community resources to design and implement best practices from the help of MFRI, as well as another organization on campus who's done a very large amount of research with student veterans and what works best, what doesn't work best. We like to go and use that to fulfill the needs of our student veterans. We're currently combating the membership challenge, but I think most organizations are. We would like for us to have all 400 veterans on campus supported, but we'll take what we can get and we'll work from there and still provide for the 400. Membership includes student veterans, the veteran dependents, and student supporters. We have a small group of veterans on campus, and some of them want to join, and a lot of them, still want to be part of it, but we can't just have veterans alone. So we have the dependents that are using Chapter 33 benefits, their family members, friends, student supporters. There's a huge community groups that support and love veterans, and they want to help them, as they may not have been able to serve through medical reasons, but they want to serve this way. So we embrace that, we encourage that. Our objectives and strategies: we would like to increase our membership from 35 to 50. We currently have 35 members, probably about 20 to 22 are veterans, and the rest are dependents and supporters. And then we'd like to have this by the end of the 2014 school year. We would like to create a PTSD counseling center as well. We have plans in place to hopefully create this. We've partnered with some great corporations as well as Ball State University Services to create a PTSD counseling service. And we'd like to create a veteran service and resource center. We currently offer, like I said, a one-stop shop as a resource center, but we don't have that place on campus that veterans can come to and study together and work together. A resource center and counseling service all in one, as well as just a home or hangout for veterans when they need to. And our budget here, as you can see, we have a couple things that we normally do every year. T-shirts. You want to, if you're an organization, you want to look like an organization, so T-shirts. We always have a tailgate at one of the football games. This year, the past couple years, has been Army versus Ball State. It's a good one to have. And we do a career readiness fair every year, whether it's for the upcoming Hire a Hoosier Vet in Indy in February timeframe or April. This last one we had was for our fall career fair in September. We partnered with a company called Tech Systems, and they came in-house and showed us as recruiters and as what to do, what not to do for getting the career. We have yearling bowling events on campus where we invite all the veterans and their families and friends to come out, have a good time. We just did a movie showing of a movie from the SVA for Where Our Soldiers Come From. It was a very moving movie, followed the lives of some Michigan Army National Guard soldiers from going from Michigan to Iraq and back. Salute, we are members of the Salute National Honor Society. It is a veteran-only honor society, and so we continue to induct new members into that, and so we have a dinner with that. Our new ones this year is Walking Wounded. That's our 5K that we are planning to help raise money for our PTSD center. And so we're hoping to raise a lot of money, but it's going to cost money to put this on as well. We have our paracord bracelet material that we've purchased to sell as a fundraiser. And then we have a budget to travel to the SVA conference. Hopefully we'll be able to go either this next one or the one after. And so far we've not only used MFRI's money that we've been awarded in the past, have money donated from Tech Systems for partnering. They've joined with us in some of these programs. We've applied for Walmart grant as well as a Delaware County grant. They have not been approved, but we still apply for them and shoot for them. We're hoping to partner with a Capital Trust Mortgage. It's a company in Muncie, and we're hoping to raise $5,000 with our Walking Wounded fundraiser. So with sustainability, like I said, we're continually searching for funding. Walmart, Target, Ball State Student Government Association, community partners. Our Walking Wounded, we're hoping to net a good enough amount of money to create the PTSD Awareness Center and Counseling Center, but also to help sustain us. We do our campus events, bowling, rock climbing, movie showing, organization fair, and then we have our annual leadership election. This one didn't go too well, just 2 of us, and so we were pretty much running and looking for new members. Our accomplishments, like I said earlier, this is our 3rd time up here for the MFRI grant. We've been awarded 2 of them. We have our career readiness fair. We've helped and placed 3 people, and so to us, we think that's a good number starting out. Our new student orientation, we've done that the past couple years, and so far of each year we've had about 20 to 30 members, and every time that they've done it, or the new members when they've done it, have said that they've maintained a B or higher average because of what we've given them. Our Veterans Resource Center, our Salute National Honor Society, our Tech Systems Tailgate, our attendance has increased, and we hosted the 2013 statewide SVO conference. So Valpo, get ready, it's fun. Our strategic partners, like I said, Tech Systems, they have become a very large one for us and hope that we'll continue to grow with them. Our Delaware County Rotary Club, Walking Wounded is our 5K, and so hopefully we can get more partners with that. We have partnered with the Student Government Association. The Vietnam Veterans Assistance Center has helped out people applying for new benefits. They've done some work for us. Department of Counseling, Psychology, and Guidance Services, they're on Ball State. They are our partner for our PTSD Counseling Center. They've said that they will help out and assist veterans, not only student veterans, but veterans of the community as well. We're providing it as a whole package to better Delaware County. So our evaluations that we've done, satisfaction surveys from our veterans. We like to know if they've enjoyed what we're doing. Same with their feedback form. Our attendance has risen, so we like to use that as an evaluation. And then we've interviewed members as well, and we provide after-action reports as well as with MFRI's needed after-action reports, but then our own after-action reports with the event. So at that time, I'd like to open it up to feedback questions.
So you mentioned that one of your objectives is to establish a resource center for veterans. Can you just expand on that a little bit more and tell me about the plans for doing so, who you would need to collaborate with, and how you plan to move forward with that?
The main goal of a Veterans Resource Center and Service Center is, like I said, to provide a safe place for veterans to feel like they can come and go to. And on campus, we are having to go through the Board of Trustees to get permission to find a place on campus and to be a part of that. And so that's the first step that we are going through. And then funding is the largest step that has to be done. We just received an email for a competition with Student Veterans of America with Home Depot as a $10,000 grant competition for establishing as a resource center. So this is our next step as well, and hopefully apply for that and I guess give our chances with that one.
Yes, I'm very familiar with that initiative.
Yes.
So as you mentioned, fundraising is a key component, and as you stated, just as importantly is, I would say, the collaboration with your institute, and so that process may take some time.
Correct.
But I think you should consider looking at what is the overall goal behind creating the resource center to provide one-stop shop where student veterans can access information, correct?
And which we currently are doing in-house in our very small one-room office on campus. Usually if veterans come into, that's our certifying official, Beck Hannaford, our faculty advisor for our SVO as well. If they come in, have a question that doesn't pertain to GI Bill or benefits that he can add, he shoots it to my way. And we have partners in the community, our Delaware County Service Office for the VA, for whether it be medical benefits. We have hiring ability with Work One, and they have their veteran representative, the VFW. We've partnered with quite a few people in town to provide, whether it's financial assistance if they need some kind of loan for school or anything like that, whether it's housing. We have realtors that we know that work well with veterans and shoot them in that direction to provide what they need.
Okay, that's great. That's what I was looking for.
Yes, ma'am.
If in the interim, if you had a solution to be able to provide that assistance while you're still pursuing the
Yes.
Veteran Center. So
And
great.
that's what one of the things that we established about 2 years ago was this one-stop shop, as we've called it, to provide whatever it need, whether it's family need or veteran need, we're here to help.
Hi, Hannah, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Within your presentation, as well as the business strategy, you mentioned you have 3 goals. One, increase membership, the PTSD Counseling Center, then the Veteran Service and Resources, which I think where Angela's kind of going. What I didn't see is I saw within the presentation and the business plan a lot around improving membership. It looked like your budget was all around membership as well. What are you going to use? What are some of the other strategies that you have for the other 2 goals, PTSD Counseling Center and then the Veteran Service Center? Membership is very important, but you have
Correct.
2 other goals listed here, and I didn't get a sense for where that is going to go.
Correct. And with the PTSD counseling group, a lot of that's coming from the Walking Wounded. That's the main goal of the Walking Wounded 5K, is to help provide for that. And if we see that it's not rising enough, we've been, I don't know, the money value or the cost that Ball State has said that it's going to cost. I don't have that off the top of my head, but I know that if we need to, we're going to find other outside sources, whether it be partnerships, which Tech Systems has already said that they will assist with. We just don't know how much is going to need to create that service center, or not but the counseling center, because we feel that that's a very high need on campus. To help provide for PTSD, TBI, that's just the counseling in general. And then with the one-stop shop is, as we are waiting for or applying for the grants, and we've applied for other grants to assist in that, and like we mentioned, we are still doing the in-house service center. We just don't have a physical location, so that's what we're hoping with these other grants will help with that. If not, we're going to seek more partnership from the community to assist with that.
You mentioned with the surveys, you have 35 active members
Yes.
right now in your SVO. The surveys, what's your response rate? What are you getting back? How are you distributing them as well?
We have surveys at the event, and usually those aren't handed back, so not as much as we hope to. And so usually at the event, we probably get 10% of the attendees handing them back just because we ask them for it. Email is how we get the most of them, whether we're creating a survey monkey survey for them, or just a, hey, what did you think of this event type email. And that one we usually get about 25 to 35% answer rate back.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I see in your previous, where your recommendations from the judges in past presentations, one of them is, was to continue cultivating your future SVO leaders. But I've noticed that I don't see anywhere where, what are you doing to accomplish this mission? And not just, and I'm talking about all of your officers, or I should say, all of your student veterans that are part of the SVO are considered leaders. What are you doing to make sure that they're being cultivated to be present leaders, but also future leaders?
Yeah, the biggest issue we've had in this past one is, or the past election is people want to be part of the organization, but they say they do not have the time that it takes to help or assist with the leadership function. And so we've been trying to find people that are wanting to help, but as well as showing them not only like what we do and giving them the information that we received, especially through MFRIs, through their success manual. We like to go through that. We like to have new members that are thinking about leadership, go through some of our events, like the ones that we had interested. We invited them to this so they could see just the process, because I hopefully graduate my master's next year, and so we're trying to find especially new leadership for that, and trying to raise always a continual group that will, whether it's the next year, year after that want to continue this on. And so we're searching for that, and I can tell you that it's so far has been pretty difficult. So we are constantly trying to show other people what we do, how we do it, and the best practices, I guess. If that answered, I don't know if it did.
It does, and I would recommend, if anything else, that to keep people engaged, I would say is, you're the biggest, you're your own advocate. So by showing other people what you are doing, maybe that'll interest them to not just your retention, but also at least help you recruit new members. And we were just talking about earlier, what you don't know is what you don't know.
Correct.
So thank you, I appreciate it.
No problem.
I would like to learn a little bit more about the programs and services that are currently available on your campus, and how your organization is working with campus leadership to either implement or enhance additional services.
Yep, we've had a group on campus through the Learning Center do a very large, substantial amount of student veterans resource, like research, and what works best, what doesn't work best. And we've been using that to, first off, let the professors know who the student veterans are and what their learning style is, what works best with them. So we've been reaching out to the professors to be aware of student veterans and what works best to work with them. We've also been reaching out to the student body community, like government, whether it's our Student Government Association, University Program Board is a campus organization that provides services to students on campus. And we've been reaching out to try to either partner with events with them so that not only our name gets out there, but so others can be aware and find out who and what the student veterans are and what works for them and what doesn't. And that reaches to our Board of Trustees. We have been sending letters waiting on the next board meeting so we can try to go to them, and so they will know what works for us, what we would like, and what we feel like is lacking at Ball State, so we can hopefully get our voice heard and not just to our own selves, but to our board, so maybe changes will be made.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I encourage you to keep in mind that you are the strongest, your organization is the strongest advocate for student veterans. So it's a good idea to look at the campus culture and also the current systems in place and look at things like, do we have a vet orientation? Do we have priority registration? How are we at transferring credits for military experience? Although ultimately the decisions are going to lie with the campus leadership, you are instrumental in making that happen. So I encourage you to look at those, because all of those policies affect the student veterans and are a key component of a need or an expectation that a student veteran who may want to join your organization would have.
Correct, and that's one of the reasons why we joined the Salute National Honor Society. We feel like not enough on campus is provided to veteran services. Transferring credits, we have a vet-friendly counselor, and she makes sure it goes through meticulously that that can be transferred, and not only that, we have let the individual department academic advisors know that, because like for me, half of mine, like they said that I had 70 credits transfer over, and a lot of them were electrical, but they were just general electives. Well, when I went through my actual department for computer technology, my advisor went through and said, oh, you can have this taken off, and so we've tried to encourage each department as well to go through with their veteran to just to see what will maintain or what works best. And then also, priority registration is one of the things we've gone to the board with, and graduating honors, like the cords and tassels for veteran friendly. And so we're creating a new green zone, as we're calling it, on campus to where professors are aware of veterans and who we're going to say that they're friendly to help out with whatever's needed for a veteran. And so hopefully we can get that pushed out pretty big.
Great. I also want to recognize what I see as two strong points. One is your efforts to ensure that your chapter is sustainable. I think your leadership transition plan is very critical, and I think it's great and will go a great distance in ensuring that you are training up your next leaders, and you have that system in place. But additionally, I want to recognize your effort to pursue diverse revenue streams. That's very critical, and that you're not relying on one sole source, whether it's a grant or it's your school, and that's going to be very important, I think, going forward. So again, kudos for that.
Thank you.
This is your third time
Yes, ma'am.
here. And I'm looking at your list of accomplishments. It seems like there's been a lot of great things that have been done, a lot of great activities that you've done. I'm not getting a lot of your lessons learned. So are you adding to this? Have you been removing? What has changed in your strategy over the last 3 years based on your lessons learned?
Based on our lessons learned, we saw like we catered, when we first started, like our first competition was catered towards student veteran events like our bowling, and we were pointed out like, yeah, that's great to have, but it's not the end all. And that's when we created from that we took it and we created the resource center, because that was another need. And so we went and learned from there, saying, okay, now we provide this, well, what's the next step? And so once we're taking what we've learned from these events, and we're finding out what's needed now, and we're continually moving forward and trying not to, we're trying to not only answer to our lessons learned before, but expand and move forward from what we've learned. So now they're saying they want a place to study together, to come together in a common location. And so that's why we're moving forward from our lessons learned from these events, that they want a resource center that's a place for them to be. And hopefully from this one, we will learn, with our PTSD awareness march from that one, we will learn that this was needed and what can come next from that, whether it's a whole community-wide event that gets not only PTSD awareness out there, but further help with the student veterans and community veterans as well.
Your goal is to go from 35 members to 50 members?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you truly believe that you can do that with these 3 goals listed?
I hope that I can. And I do believe that we can if we're able to get it out there, because so many people are saying that either it's in them that from the PTSD, I don't know if the counseling will help to increase membership, but I think that when we partner with these different organizations, we can create or get supporters of those veterans that will want to join, who may have veteran friends that have been hiding in the shadows, as we would say, and want to join as well, because they see that we are moving forward, trying to provide these services to veterans, that they will want to join. And even though they don't join, they're still offered. So,
Mm-hmm. Do you know how many of the 35 will be graduating?
we have about, let's say, 6.
6.
Mhm.
Okay, so your goal would be more than?
Correct.
that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Long shot, but we're going to go for it.
Okay.
Just one final thing for me. I'm going to steal some words from a very wise colleague, that in order to be successful, you have to look at the wants, needs, and expectations of those you want to serve. And so looking at your goals and objectives, you have to ensure that you are value added to that veteran's life. So when you're facing your membership challenge, that's what you need to be looking at. Student veterans often have many other obligations, and so their time is a limited resource. And so what value added is your organization? And so looking at the culture of your student veterans, if many of them have families, then maybe they're looking for some kind of programs or support for their families. Maybe, a spouse club, or efforts to, maybe they get together and assist with babysitting, for date nights, or whatever it may be. Just look at what that student veteran population looks at. Is important to them and what they need, and that's how I think you'll be able to increase your membership. If you go to them, even someone that's not, they're a veteran and they're not a part of your club, you can approach them and say, what would you look for in an organization? How can we help you, you and your family? And I think you can use those interactions to gauge where you can be value added and increase your membership as well.
I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
I do have one question, and
Yes, sir.
I guess both. I know you said the career readiness fair. You're paying I know it says you have a $150 as a cost, but the actual cost is $132. What are you exactly paying for? Are you paying to attend? Are you paying
No,
to host it?
That was to provide food and drinks for the attendees.
And it's being held on Ball State?
Yes.
Have you, and I know you said you have 400 student veterans, and I'm assuming student veterans / dependents attending Ball State. Have you thought about partnering up with the community, or even hiring our heroes who can help you maybe defray some of this cost? And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but that $150 can be allocated somewhere else, but you can partner with them where they can hopefully maybe absorb the costs and assist you, but also be able to bring out more of your students, which allows you to take, I guess, credit for it. And then, of course, it can give you another opportunity to reach out to those members that you will otherwise not be able to reach out to.
Yes, and the money for that food and drinks, as well as the tailgate, were all provided by Tech Systems.
Okay.
Yeah, so as for them, they came from Kentucky and came in and said, hey, we would like to do this for you. And they provided everything, and they've said that they will continue to be a partner for us. And so we're hoping that, and that's why we put it in the budget as already spent, because we've already held it, and we know that we've already gotten that money from Tech Systems for it. And so we continually look, like when we have events on campus, who we can partner with to absorb the cost. And that's why when Tech Systems said, yes, we would like to do this for you, and this is what we will provide, we jumped on it as fast as we could.
Okay.
I just have a bit of feedback just
Yes, ma'am.
in general. So, part of my job is I write a lot of business plans and I read a lot of business plans, and this is kind of for kind of everybody. I thought this was very well written. I think you had kind of like laid out kind of your thoughts. Some things to watch out for is know your audience. The use of acronyms, and you know what the acronyms are, but sometimes your audience might not know all the acronyms, so make sure you spell out all the acronyms so everybody is on the same page as you are. Also, the use of page numbers and headers and footers is very useful when, for example, we have 5 presentations to go through and we're doing some evaluations. It's hard to know whose stuff goes with who.
Okay.
So for future, it's better for the user, so understand your audience on how they're going to be reading it and how you want to interpret it, and just some basic things like that. But I thought your business plan was very well written and seemed very thought out. It then matched your presentation, which is sometimes difficult to do. So I thought that was very good.
Thank you.
We are out of question and answer time, but perhaps there's one burning question from the audience.
Not actually a question, it's a little bit of a question, a little bit maybe some helpful information. I think when you're trying to get the support on campus for your veterans, one of the key things you gotta do is get the support of the faculty and staff, and also the leadership. MFRI offered a class called Military 101, and that could also help get those faculty and staff in there to understand the military culture and then help bid on your behalf. And they may also be able to push veterans towards you if they know you exist on campus and what you're about. they say, hey, you fit in this category, and check these guys out. So it's a free to you through MFRI, and that may be helpful to you.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. All done?
Great job.